Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Z. I'm a clinical psychologist specializing in transgender adult care. Welcome to my channel. If you have not yet subscribed, please make sure you do so. You'll be very much helping support me. Also, if you don't follow me on Instagram, please make sure you follow me on Instagram. Link is below in the description box. That way I can connect and interact with all of you. For today's video, I'm going to share with you one of the, I would say, one of the biggest mistakes, one of the biggest things that I highly recommend to avoid if you are not ready yet to start gender transition. And you may not be ready to start gender transition for a number of reasons. Perhaps currently your health, you may have issues with your health, and as a result, you're waiting for your health to get better before you can consider gender transition. Perhaps you are right now in a relationship and you are trying to work it out with your partner, whether gender transition is something that can happen within the container of a relationship. Perhaps you are right now, due to the current political environment, don't feel safe or comfortable to start gender transition. Again, gender transition can be, remember, gender transition is something that covers a lot of ground. It's not just medical and surgical, but it's also social, it is psychological, it is spiritual, it is so many aspects that take place within one's own evolutionary unfoldment toward alignment of who you truly are. So you might have some even other reasons that I have not mentioned that may prevent you from starting gender transition. But let's say you do want to go through gender transition, but just right now feel like it's not the time or the place, or you're getting your docs ready to go through whatever part of gender transition you want to go through. Sometimes part of those docs could also be financial, getting your financial resources and savings in order, so that way you have those resources when you need to cover the cost associated with transition. And there's one thing that I see people do again and again and again when they are in this place where they want to go through gender transition, but they're not ready yet. Again, that ready may mean so many things, and each one of you has your own, I'm not ready yet. And it also, by the way, could be that you have a lot of fears that you're trying to overcome within yourself. Or it could be that you are concerned you may make a mistake and regret it. Or it could be you worried that people around you are not going to be accepting. Again, reasons are, there's so many reasons really out there because each one of you is different, has its own set of circumstances and your own different lives. And so for that reason, it really varies. So let's say you want to, but you are still not there yet. This is what I see people do again and again that I just see being such a bad idea. And when I'm going to say what it is, a lot of you are going to maybe even wonder why it is, what's so bad about this? Why is it even a bad idea? What I see people do is immerse themselves and spend tremendous amount of time watching other people's transition timelines and other people's transition stories, Instagram, Reddit, Facebook, YouTube. Basically, you are watching people going through transition. Maybe they're sharing, they have maybe like a video vlog where they're talking about the challenges and tribulation and successes, or maybe they're sharing something else. But you basically, day in and day out, watch that content. Why is it so bad, right? Because on one hand, you would think, well, isn't that a good thing? I may be gathering information, or I'm getting myself motivated, or maybe I'm looking for an answer that will help me overcome my fears by watching this content. And it's not that watching this content is necessarily bad. It is more importantly paying attention to how watching this content affects your gender dysphoria that is detrimental to you. Let me say that again. It is not necessarily watching this content that is bad, but it is being aware of how watching this content then affects your gender dysphoria. If watching this content, which I observe in a lot of people is very common, makes their gender dysphoria increase causing them distress and pain and suffering, then it's not a good idea to watch the content. If it reduces gender dysphoria and makes you feel motivated and inspired, then obviously no harm in it. But let me explain to you why it might increase gender dysphoria and why I think watching this content, if it's actually affecting dysphoria in such a way, is such a bad idea. A lot of times, a lot of you don't even notice that it is, apart from increasing dysphoria, and you may not even feel like it's increasing your dysphoria, it is causing you a lot of anxiety and maybe even a lot of depressive thoughts. Here's why. If you are in a position, like I said, that you're not yet ready to take steps toward your gender transition for whatever reasons you may have, but yet you watch other people go through gender transition, then on one hand, you'd think you'd be motivated, but actually, what deep down is happening is that part of you gets incredibly frustrated and anxious that they're doing it and their life, the result is better, and you're not doing it yet. That they are going through these changes and you're witnessing them going through these changes, the changes you want, the changes you desire, but you don't have them yet. It is similar example, and by the way, it's going to frustrate the heck out of you. Here's this example analogy to draw parallels. Again, common example, I always use weight loss. Let's say I want to lose 50 pounds. Let's say my doctor right now says you need to, well, actually, I do have thyroid condition. So let's say hypothetically, even though this is medically not true, let's say my doctor says you cannot go on any kind of lifestyle changes within your nutrition and you cannot do any exercises until we medically manage your hormonal condition. So this is a step that I need to get through before I start, right, on the weight loss plan of lifestyle changes in terms of nutrition and exercise. So let's say I'm in this position. I can't do any of those things yet, but I am now sitting on YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, and I'm watching a lot of people who are exercising their regimes. And sure, I'm picking up information here and there, what I may want to do in the future. But the more I watch, the more I get frustrated, the more I get anxious and more likely depressed because I am not yet at a place where I am ready to do something about it. I still have to wait for my thyroid to get managed. It's analogous to that. A lot of you are not in a place where you're ready to do that because, again, you have the things that you need to attend to. And so, watching people going through this is, in the beginning, may seem inspirational and like you're gathering information. But I guarantee you and promise you, unbeknown even to you, your dysphoria is bound to spike up. Your anxiety is bound to spike up because you are watching something you strongly want and desire and still not able to do. Even though you're telling yourself you'll be able to do once you get ready, you're still not able to do it in this moment. And so it just makes you feel very angst about the whole situation, makes you feel again incredibly frustrated. I've seen people who just a result get really emotionally overwhelmed, and in effect, it can even interfere with whatever it is you need to do to get yourself ready, because it can either overwhelm you or underwhelm you at the same time. So again, remember what I said in the beginning. It is not watching necessarily this content of people transitioning or transition stories or timelines that is bad in of itself. It is the effect it has on you. If you notice that again your anxiety, depression goes up, you find yourself feeling very frustrated, you find just you're starting to feel yourself hopeless, like this is not going to happen to you. Maybe your fears are now going incrementally up because you're seeing somebody telling their story where their identity has shifted and changed, and as a result, now it's feeding into your fears. It's all of those are a sign to step away. I cannot stress this enough. Today, we are so oversaturated with um, we're really bombarded today by reality content. Before it was only reality television. to get access to other people's real lives, like the real world on MTV. Who even remembers MTV these days? Um, but today, we have access to everybody's life because everybody is showcasing their life one way or another. So we are exposed to this reality constantly. And so it's very easy to get very sucked into the other person's reality. It's very easy to get start romanticizing how maybe somebody's even reality is going to be your reality, or catastrophize how somebody's negative outcome of the reality will be your outcome of reality. And so you want to be mindful with all of that. You want to be mindful with how much of other lives you are interjecting into your own, because I cannot stress this enough. Everybody's life is different. If somebody's going through something, it doesn't mean and it does not guarantee that you're going to go through exactly the same thing. So comment below, let me know if you caught yourself wanting to transition but not being ready yet for whatever reason, and oversaturating yourself with the content. How has that affected you? I love hearing your comments. Give this video a thumbs up, like, comment. All of that helps my algorithm tremendously. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye.